Hey guys, welcome back. We're here to a new week. This week we're going to be doing 3 dots in the dash. Just a little history about this cocktail. The name comes from Morse code, so it stands for 3 dots in the dash, stands for V for victory. Okay, it's an old tiki cocktail. It's got a lot of ingredients, so I'm going to get right to the cocktail. But first off, the recipe is slightly altered because I was missing some ingredients. Normally it calls for a rum agricole. I didn't have that, so I'm just using an extra dry unaged rum. And then it's going to be going against the unaged cachaça. So I'm using Sierra Limpa, and it's an unaged cachaça. Then the other recipe calls for a Guyana 5-year-old rum, preferably El Dorado. So I found that. I brought a 5-year versus I'm using a 6. This Armazém Vieira is stored for 6 years in Grapia and Araiba woods. So it's kind of a nice comparison. Try to keep it really funky. So getting right to it, there's a lot of ingredients for this. First off, it's 3 dashes of Angostura bitters. Then next is a 1/4 ounce of St. Elizabeth's allspice dram. And this dram liqueur is used quite a bit in tiki cocktails. It brings out kind of a nice funky flavor to it. And then I didn't have time to make a falernum, so I'm just using a velvet falernum right here, and it's going to be a 1/2 ounce of that. And then a 1/2 ounce of honey syrup, 2 to 1, so 2 parts honey to 1 part water. 1/2 ounce of that. 1/2 ounce of that. And a 1/2 ounce of dry curacao. I'm using an orange curacao here. Pure Friend makes a nice dry curacao. And then you're going to have an ounce of lime juice. So this cocktail kind of fits within the category of, you know, a tiki cocktail. You got loads of ingredients, upwards of 10, and different combinations of rum. So we can extrapolate that to, you know, a cachaça variant. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to use an ounce of each rum. So the unaged Sierra Limpa, and then an ounce of the Armazém Vieira del Toro, and then an ounce of, if you have it, the rum agricole, and an ounce of El Dorado 5-year, your Guianan rum. Alright, and then the glassware in this situation either calls for a snifter or a mug. So I'm using a snifter and tiki glasses, so to keep it correct. So the cachaça cocktail is going to be in the mug. And it's served over crushed ice, shake and strain. So I think these aged cachaças will work really well with tiki cocktails, just because tikis, you know, the aged rums that they have are really funky. They call for a lot of aged Jamaican rums and you know, a lot of funkier type rums. And I think aged cachaças can stand in quite well because the woods that they use, you get some really unique aromas and flavors off that, and it can definitely stand in for, you know, tiki cocktail. So the garnish is going to be, here are the 3 dots in the dash, 3 brandied cherries and a pineapple wedge, and an orchid. So there you have it, the 3 dots in the dash.